session we are welcoming the students enrolled for the Diploma in Dairy Technology, and we will be telling you about the Diploma in Dairy Technology program. Friends, what are the objectives of this program? The first objective of this program is we want to develop the technician level human resource for the dairy processing industry. The second objective is to develop the technical proficiency of the skilled workers or technicians who are already working in the dairy industry is there. Then we want to develop the young entrepreneurs in the dairy processing industry, and to prepare dairy technology personnel who could be capable supervisors, assistants, milk procurement officers, then to train the youth in need-based dairy operations to improve the hygienic status of the dairy industry. These are the broad objectives of this program. Friends, the dairy is one of the profession, as you know, that which starts as soon as you take the birth, and when you die, the milk is the product which comes with you. As soon as the child is born, the milk is given to him or her, and when our last rites take place, it is with the ghee. So the milk is important in our all aspects of life. The milk is also taken as the complete food. Nutritionally also it is very important. Our country is one of the largest milk producer in the world. We are producing around 94 million tons of the milk. But you will be surprised to know that the level of processing or the handling by the organized sector is very less. At present, we are only handling around 37% of the milk. 15% is being handled by the organized sector, and the rest is by the unorganized sector. And the remaining milk is consumed as a fluid milk or as household level, or a range of various indigenous products are manufactured. So what I am trying to say is that the level of processing under organized sector is very minimum. It is only 15% is there. Now the dairy industry is posing for the new thresholds because its growth rate is very good. The dairying is one of the sector which is maintaining a growth rate of 4% growth rate, and we assume that with this growth rate lot of manpower will be required. And if you see the educational programs for the dairy technology, there are no courses programs which prepare the technician level of the manpower for the dairy industry. So this program aims for preparing the technician level manpower, upgrading the skills of the skilled or unskilled workers or technician who are working in the dairy industry, and the main focus area is to prepare the young entrepreneur at the rural level and at the urban level who can take dairy as one of the profession. At the rural level, the rural youth should be able to prepare the products and could market it to the country, even to the outside the country also. And those youth, the small and medium entrepreneurs who want to export the products or make the scientific aspects of the dairy technology, so for those also these programs is objective. Once the scientific culture is given to the rural or urban youth or the people who are the stakeholders in the dairying, there will be lot of improvement in the quality and export potential will be very high. You will be surprised to know that many people in the world are waiting for the indigenous sweet products like ghee, and indigenous sweet products, it has a lot of demand in the other countries. So we can export these products also. The government of India is giving special emphasis on clean milk production, so the quality of milk is good because there is a lot of export potential is there. So with these backgrounds, that is to prepare the entrepreneurs who can make the quality products, who can export the products, and the technicians who are conscious about the milk and milk products, because milk is a very perishable in nature. So this is the objectives of the program is there. The target group includes senior secondary pass outs, in service technician, workers, rural youth, or the youth with BPP from IGNOU. They can also enroll for this program. The IGNOU has made special arrangement that for the School of Agriculture, the students can enroll simultaneously for the BPP program and for this diploma program also. This program consists of 8 courses, and this mix includes: the first course is milk production and quality of milk, dairy equipment and utilities. The third course is milk processing and packaging. Fourth is dairy products 1, then dairy products 2, dairy products 3, quality assurance, dairy management and entrepreneurship. These are the 8 courses, and the course structure has been made in such a way that the focus is on the quality of milk, the quality assurance and the entrepreneurship. All the new areas are covered into this product mix. I have with me my colleague Dr. Sindhu. He will be talking you about the course 1, milk production and quality of milk. So I request Dr. Sindhu to give you the salient features of milk production and quality of milk, please.
Hello friends. So our first course of diploma in dairy technology is regarding production of milk and quality of milk. Now this course has been divided into 4 blocks, and except block 1, which has 3 units, all the other 3 blocks have 4 units each. So total there are 15 units. First block is regarding dairy development in India. First block is dairy development and the cooperative system. Now it has 3 units, as I have told you. First unit is regarding dairy development in India. Second unit is dairy cooperatives. Third unit is regarding government policies and incentives. Now the second block is regarding milk production. It has, as I have told you, 4 units. The first unit is regarding the milk breeds of the animals, means cow, buffalo, goat, etc. Second is animal husbandry and health care of the animal. Third unit is clean milk production, and fourth unit is milk procurement and mode of payment. Now third block is regarding the quality of milk, which is the fundamental of dairy chemistry. This has again 4 units. First unit is regarding the composition of milk, milk constituent and its nutritive value. Second unit is regarding physicochemical properties of milk and milk product. In this, with physicochemical properties, they are related to the processing of milk, means the milk processing, how the milk should be heated, how it should be cooled, how it should be homogenized. It depends on the physicochemical properties of milk. So the second block is regarding physicochemical properties of milk. Third block is thermal processing of milk, and the fourth block is preservatives, neutralizers and adulterants in milk and their detection. Now the fourth block, again which has 4 units, is regarding fundamentals of dairy microbiology. The first unit is regarding introduction to dairy microbiology. Second unit is milk in relation to public health. Fourth unit is regarding the factors affecting the growth of microorganisms in milk, and the fourth unit is regarding the control of microbial spoilage. Now this course has 32 practicals. The 7 practicals are regarding the milk production. The first practical is regarding identification of different breeds of cow, buffalo and goats, and the external anatomy of the milk animal. And the second practical is regarding judging of the milk animals. Then third practical is the identification of various food and feeds for dairy animals or milch animals. Then the next practical is regarding preparation of balanced diet, milk replacer, calf starter and feeding of dairy calves. The next practical is regarding the housing for dairy animals, milk animals and maintenance of hygienic conditions at milk farm. Then the next practical is regarding clean milk production and next is regarding visit to feed farm. Then the next practical are regarding dairy chemistry. There are 19 practicals which are related to dairy chemistry, means quality of milk. Now first practical is regarding preparation of N/10 NaOH solution. Second practical is regarding preparation of N/10 HCl solution. Third practical is regarding preparation of Gerber acid, which is used for the estimation of fat by Gerber method. Then the next practical is regarding sampling of milk and the platform test. There are three practicals regarding to platform test. One is alcohol test, second is COB or clot on boiling test. Then the third practical in the COB test is regarding sedimentation, how much sediment or you can say that feed, fodder etc. has been added or has come to milk, that is sedimentation of milk. Then there are determination of milk fat, milk solid not fat, milk solids, specific gravity, titrable acidity, then pH, and then detection of different adulterants or preservatives etc. which have got access to milk. These are the detection of cane sugar, detection of starch, detection of cane sugar, detection of glucose, detection of urea, detection of ammonium sulfate, detection of carbonates and bicarbonates. Then 6 practicals are regarding dairy microbiology. They contain the residurin reduction test, methylene blue reduction test, then demonstration of presumptive coliform test, demonstration of standard plate count, then preparation of microbial media and then staining procedures. So this is regarding theory and practical of course 1. I will request Dr. Saluja to discuss regarding course number 2.
The course 2 consists of dairy equipment and utilities. It consists of 5 blocks. The first block is dairy equipment and their maintenance. The next block is refrigeration system, then steam generation and boiler, then electrical engineering aspects, and then water supply and dairy effluent system. So this is a type of complete dairy engineering or food engineering component, because what we need, that what are the equipment required, because in the processing of milk, heating, cooling is must. So we have a block on the refrigeration system, and for the heating purpose we have a block on the steam generation, and then for running the motors and everything we need electrical support. So we have electrical block on electrical engineering. And nowadays the dairy effluence is creating problem, so there is a course on dairy water supply and dairy effluent system is also there. So these are the 5 blocks are there. Now under the first block, dairy equipment and their maintenance, it identifies what type of material will be suitable for the particularly handling the milk and milk products. Actually there are different type of equipment which are required. We normally use the stainless steel. I think you must be knowing, when you want to make curd, the curd is normally made in earthen pot. But when it comes to the dairy processing, or it is there, so we go for the stainless steel equipment. What should be the characteristics? Whether we can use aluminum or we can use what type of equipment. So those characteristics, what type of equipments are available, what will be the reaction. Like you must be recalling the traditional method that don't put the milk in the copper container. What will be the impact? So a type of products, type of equipment or material or metal which could be used for preparation of the equipment, what will be the reaction, because when you do the processing, it is important that the milk should not be spoiled. It should not spoil the equipment also, and then cleanliness could be also made. So all those aspects are covered into this is there. So we have in this block the what is the type of materials, what should be their specifications, what are the equipment for milk processing, what are the equipment for milk products is there. Then how do you take the preventive maintenance of dairy plant. So this is in the block 1. Then in block 2, which is about refrigeration system. So it covers that what are the basic principle of refrigeration system is there. It's the same, the principles what we see in our fridge, but how do we apply there? So all those components like compressor, condenser, operating coil, so those have been covered into there. What type of cooling system is there for the milk and milk products? The cold storage where we keep the milk cans, already the packed material, or the cheese, butter, the cold storage. What type of installation is there? Then maintenance and repair of the commercial refrigeration system. Some of the salient features are there, because if you are in a small dairy entrepreneur, you may have to store the milk and milk products, because milk is a very perishable commodity, and the lower the temperature, the shelf life is more. Like, and if you are even if you are a bulk milk sender or vendor, then also the small aspects of refrigeration must be known to you. Then, as I mentioned, the heating processing plays an important role, because milk is a very good food. So it is a good food for the human, it is a good food for the microorganisms also. The microorganisms can grow into this and they can spoil. The milk, as soon as it comes from the udder, it is sterile, but during its journey from the udder to reach to the consumers, the chances of growing the microorganisms are very high. So we have to control the microorganisms. One way is cooling, but cooling is not in it is not for the long time. But if you heat them, if you kill the microorganisms, whichever can be killed, then you can extend the shelf life, because microorganisms grow in geometric progression. If it is now 1, in after 1 minute there will be 2, then 2 to 6. So the heat is very important, and that comes to the steam generation boilers. What is the principle of steam heating? How do you control the boilers, the safety provision? I think, to give you an example, at the home you have a pressure cooker. So there also its handling is very important, and so all those aspects are covered under the block 3, and it has the units, the basic principle of steam generation, control and safety devices for the boilers, steam supply line, and what are the instruments for measuring the processing parameters. Then electrical engineering and safety is the block 4, and it covers the single phase and 3-phase wiring, is motors, then generator sets, substation, how do you distribute the power into your factory, the plant, what are the fuses, what are the relays. So those aspects are covered under this. Then water supply and dairy effluent system, how do you get the water in a dairy plant? Whatever, like if you are handling the milk of 5 liter, the water you need will be 10 times 50 liter. But normally the plant, we are talking of a small plant, is of 1 lakh liter, so you need water of around 10 lakh liters there. So what should the arrangement? So the units related to tube well, water storage and supply, water quality, water treatment and purification. We should not use the hard water for the milk. How do you use the wastewater? Wastewater conservation and rainwater harvesting are covered in the block 5 is there. And these are the practicals that you will be learning about, how to draw the utilities, what type of workshop tools are there, how different type of sanitary pipes, fittings, how do you dismantle and assemble the milk pumps. You will drawing the milk tankers, storage tank, silos, study the different type of thermometers, flow meters, refrigeration systems. Then similarly the different parts and operation of plate chiller, bulk milk chiller will be there, water supply system, water softening system. Then the construction details of the fire tube and water tube boilers, the dairy effluents plant, then the different types of phase induction motors, then direct online and star data starters, then safety devices in plant and first aid kit. These are the pack. Now we come to the next course, milk processing and packaging. This consists of the 4 blocks. Block 1 is milk reception, block 2 is processing of milk, block 3 is packaging and distribution, block 4th is cleaning and sanitization. Milk reception. When we say reception it means how do you procure the milk from the farmer's level to the plant or where the processing takes place. So the first is milk collection and transportation. Then milk reception at dock. This dock could be at the dairy plant or at we sometimes establish the chilling center, so at that also. Then how do you chill the milk and store? So all these aspects are covered under the milk reception is there. Then comes the processing of milk. The processing of milk, it covers the clarification, because as I mentioned, the journey from the udder to the consumer, there could be lot of contamination. So we want to clarify that the external like dust, dirt particles need to be separated. So the clarification is the process using the principle of the centrifugal separation we separated. Similarly, bacterification is there, cream separation and standardization. Cream separation, because our country has a mixed type of milk. We have a cow milk, we have a buffalo milk is there. Buffalo milk is very rich in fat percentage. Now to maintain the city supply to our large population, we go for standardization and separation. What we do is we take out the cream, and this cream could be used for preparation of various fat rich products, and then milk could be standardized. Similarly, like in summer, what we want to do is, if there is only 5 liter of milk of the buffalo milk is there, and you want to make it 10 liter of less fat percentage milk, so we have to add the skim milk. So how do you standardize it? So these things, clarification, separation, you must have seen the cream separators at the small dairies where you can get the separata milk or the skim milk or the cream is there. So how do we do the separation of the milk? Pasteurization and sterilization, these are the 2 important. I was mentioning in my the second block about the heat treatment. Now these are the 2 processes, pasteurization and sterilization important. Pasteurization is the process where we kill all the pathogenic organisms, that is so that the milk is safe for the human consumption. And sterilization is a process where we kill all the microorganisms, even spores are also killed. In pasteurization, spores are not killed. So what type of heat treatment is to be there? Then we come to the homogenization. In homogenization, we make the milk, the fat particles which are fat globules which are present in the milk, they divide it into so small so that when you store them, there is no formation of the cream layer is there. Then sterilization, UHT processing of milk, preparation of different type of flavored milk or designated milks are there. Nowadays a different type of fortified milks are there. Then packaging and distribution. Now what are the different types of packaging materials for the polythene? Then similarly for the UHT milk, what type of machineries are there, and how do you go for the operational details of the fluid milk, because in our country a good percentage milk is consumed as a fluid milk, like bulk vending method is there, then you have the sachets is there, then through the in open market. So all those aspects of packaging and distribution are covered under the block 3. Then cleaning and sanitization. How do we clean the equipment, type of detergent and sanitizers, methods of cleaning and sanitization, then cleaning in place. These aspects are covered under block 4. So that practicals also you can see based on theory, reception of milk, study of cream separator and separation and standardization of milk, study of batch pasteurizer and HTST pasteurizer, pasteurization of milk, and whether to check whether the milk has been properly pasteurized or not. Similarly, the study of sterilizer, checking whether the milk is properly sterilized, then different packaging systems, preparation of detergent solutions, cleaning of equipment. These are the practicals which is there. Then we come to the course 4. Course 4, it is the dairy product 1. It consists of the 3 blocks. Block 1 is the cream, then block 2 is the butter, and block 3 is the ghee, butter, oil and fat rich product is there. So this product is basically high fat product is there. So this covers the aspects all about all these products. To give you an example, in block 1 cream, it will cover the definition, composition, standards and processing of cream. The unit 2 is preparation of different type of cream, and then how do you pack, how do you store, and what type of common defects in cream can take place. The block 2 will cover about the butter, that is its definition, its standards and principles of butter making, then methods of manufacture of butter, table butter, desi butter or different types of, and how do you pack them, storage, and what type of common defects can occur during processing and during storage. So those details are. Then the ghee, butter, oil and fat rich products. In this block again same definition, composition, standards of ghee and butter oil, what are the methods of manufacture of ghee and butter oil, and how do you pack them and store them. Nowadays lot of low fat spreads are available in market. So in this course we have covered the low fat spreads also. Now you see the type of practicals. How do you prepare the cream, how do you sterilize the cream, how do you prepare the butter, and how do you operate the power churn through which you make the butter. The construction operational details of the butter packaging unit will be also there. Preparation of desi butter, table butter, cooking butter by hand operated churns, and even the power churn are covered under the practicals is there. Then the practicals are also includes preparation of ghee, egg mark grading of ghee and butter, and visit to small dairy plant covering the egg mark, cream, butter and ghee. So these are the in the course 4 are what we call the BPVI 014 dairy products. Friends, now I will request my colleague to tell you about the course 5, 6 and 7. Dr. Sidhu, please.
So friends, course number 5 has 4 groups of product, milk products. 2 are indigenous product. The first, this has 4 block. The first block consists the heat desiccated product, means the product which are manufactured by heating the milk in open pan under atmospheric pressure. Now in this block we have 3 products: khoa, basundi and rabdi. Now this block has got 4 units. Unit 1 is regarding the definition, composition and standards of khoa, rabdi and basundi. Second block is regarding the manufacture of heat desiccated product. Third unit is regarding manufacturing of khoa based sweets, and the fourth block is regarding packaging, storage and quality or shelf life of these heat desiccated product. Now the second block also consists the indigenous product. 2 products are there. These are the products which are manufactured by acid coagulation of milk. We coagulate the milk with the help of acid and then we manufacture these product. In this category there are 2 products, the channa and paneer. We have 4 units in this block. Unit 1 has the definition, composition and the factor affecting definition, composition, standards and the factor affecting the quality of khoa and paneer. The second unit is regarding the manufacturing of khoa and paneer. Third unit is regarding the channa based sweets, and fourth unit is regarding packaging, storage and quality of or shelf life of paneer and channa. Now the third block is regarding the concentrated product. In this category there are again 2 products. the sweetened condensed milk and the evaporated milk. The sweetened condensed milk is that which is manufactured or which is produced by evaporating the water from the milk under vacuum, so that its physicochemical properties or the constituent are least affected. Because as we heat the milk in open, as in the case of manufacturing of khoa, basundi, rabdi, etc., then heat treatment becomes too severe and there is a adverse effect on the physicochemical properties and on milk constant or nutritive value. But when the milk is concentrated in under vacuum, then there is a very little or no effect on the physicochemical properties as well as on the nutritive value. So we have two products in this category: the sweetened condensed milk, which is produced by evaporating the water from the milk under vacuum, and then addition of sugar, because the sugar which increases the osmotic pressure, and by increasing the osmotic pressure it prevents the growth of microorganisms. So the condensed milk or sweetened condensed milk can be stored for long period of time. It is because of two reasons. One is that we evaporate water, a part of water. So the evaporation of water or decrease in available water will enhance the shelf life, but the removal of a part of water will not give sufficient storage life to this product. So about 40% sugar is added, so that osmotic pressure of the water phase is increased, and hence there is no growth of microorganisms. So this is known as sweetened condensed milk. There is a full cream sweetened condensed milk, then the skimmed milk which is converted into sweetened condensed milk. So it is known as skimmed sweetened condensed milk. And then third category is partially skimmed sweetened condensed milk. Then the other product which is there in this category is evaporated milk. Now, as I have told you, in the manufacturing of condensed milk, a part of water is evaporated. In case of evaporated milk also, a part of water is evaporated under vacuum from the milk, but the evaporation of a part of water will not give sufficient shelf life to the product, as in the case of sweetened condensed milk. So in sweetened condensed milk we add sugar, but in evaporated milk we do not add sugar, but we sterilize the product after evaporation of water. So this is known as evaporated milk or unsweetened condensed milk. In this case there are two categories: full cream evaporated milk and then skimmed evaporated milk. Now this evaporated milk, there are problems in India because we have mostly buffalo milk, and there is a problem in the manufacturing of evaporated milk from buffalo milk. But the work which has been done at NDRI or National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal, has enabled us to manufacture evaporated milk from buffalo milk. So in this block there are three units. First unit is regarding definition, composition, nutritive value and principle of evaporation, how the water is evaporated, in that is discussed. Second unit is regarding the manufacturing of sweetened condensed milk and evaporated milk and use of sweetened condensed milk and evaporated milk. Then the third unit is regarding storage, the packaging, storage and common defect in condensed milk. During the storage of sweetened condensed milk and evaporated milk, there are some defects which can develop. So what are those defects and how they can be eliminated, that has been discussed. Now fourth block is regarding dried milk product. In this we have dried milk, means the milk powder, the roller dried milk powder, the spray dried milk powder, and also we have value added product which is coffee whitener or tea whitener. So in this block there are again 4 units. First unit is regarding definition, composition, classification, standards and principle of drying. Then second unit is regarding method of manufacturing of spray dried and roller dried milk powder. Fourth unit is regarding packaging, storage, quality attributes and common defects which can occur during storage of dried milk. So this is regarding the theoretical aspect of course number 5, which has 4 type of product: the heat desiccated product, the acid coagulated product, the concentrated product, and the dried product. As far as practical is concerned, there are 19 practical, and the practicals are regarding the preparation of khoa, preparation of gulab jamun, preparation of barfi, preparation of peda, preparation of kalakand and milk cake, then preparation of kheer, preparation of channa and channa based sweets like rasgulla, sandesh, rasmalai and channa murgi, then preparation of paneer, then study of vacuum pan, double effect and triple effect, in which we prepare the sweetened condensed milk, then study of manufacture of spray dyed milk powder, and preparation of value added product, which is, as I have told you, dairy whitener, then visit to dairy plant. There's 17 practicals are there as a whole. Then in course number 6, which is dairy product 3, we have fermented milk product, then frozen milk product. In fermented milk we have the again indigenous product like dahi, mishti dahi, srikhand, lassi, etc. And we have second category of product which is different type of cheese. Then we have frozen product like ice cream, kulfi, then softy, etc. And then we have fourth category, we have byproducts. So there are 4 blocks in this course. The first block, which is regarding fermented product, consists 3 units. Unit 1 is regarding starter culture and nutritive importance of fermented product, means what nutritional attribute they have got, and if we consume them, how nutritionally we are benefited. Then second unit is regarding the manufacture of fermented dairy product. Third unit regarding packaging, storage and common defect of fermented milk. Then the second block is regarding cheese, which consists again 4 unit. The unit 1 is regarding the history, definition, composition, standards and classification of different type of cheese. The second unit in this second block is regarding the principle and method of manufacture of cheddar cheese. The third unit is principle and method of manufacture of mozzarella cheese, and the fourth block is principles and method of manufacture of pasteurized processed cheese product, PPP. Then we have frozen dairy product. In this we have again 4 unit. First unit is regarding definition, composition, classification and standards of frozen product including ice cream, kulfi, softy, etc. Second unit is regarding principle and method of manufacture. Third unit is regarding packaging, hardening, storage, transportation and common defect. The packaging means we manufacture the ice cream, then in the freezer we whip the air, or you can say we introduce the air and we freeze the mix, ice cream mix. So by doing that we get ice cream which is drawn out from the freezer at -5 or -5.5 degrees centigrade. Still it is in semi liquid condition and it can be filled in containers like we fill cup, we also fill the bricks or maybe the bigger container. So the semi fluid ice cream or semi liquid ice cream is filled in containers, and then to get proper, because all the water has not been converted into ice during the freezing of the ice cream mix, only about you can say 50% or 55% water is converted into ice. Now just to get a body which is quite firm and which can give, when we eat the ice cream, it gives us a good taste and also the coolness. The ice cream is hardened in the hardening room where the temperature is very low, say -30 degrees centigrade or so. So it is the packaging. First we fill the container, that is packaging. Then we harden the room, ice cream in the hardening room. Then we store the ice cream. In the hardening room, most of the water, you can say that about 90% or so is converted into ice, and then we take out the ice cream from the hardening room and it is kept for storage in the retailer's cabinet, where the temperature is about minus 11 degrees centigrade. So that is the storage of the ice cream, because if we store the ice cream at higher temperature, then again the melting of ice cream or conversion of ice into water will be there, and we will not get a very firm product or very cool product. So that this block is regarding the packaging, hardening, storage and transportation. The transportation in case of ice cream is very important, because it has been stored at low temperature, so it should be transported at very low temperature. So this is regarding the third block. Then we have softy, novelties, definition, method of manufacturing, composition, etc. And we have byproduct from skim milk, casein and caseinate, from whey beverages, whey powder, lactose and whey protein concentrate. And then we have buttermilk and ghee residue. And then new technology for the manufacturing of byproduct that contain the reverse osmosis and the ultrafiltration, etc. Then in quality assurance, we have again 4 blocks. Block 1 has 4 units, which is definition and importance of quality, then quality assurance system, management system. Then we have the laboratory equipment and instrument, and then we have the second block, we have chemical and microbiologic analysis of milk, in which we have rules and regulation 1 unit regarding rule and regulation of governing dairy industry. Then sampling of milk and milk product, chemical analysis of milk and milk product, microbiological analysis of milk and milk product, and then sensory evaluation. Third block is regarding sensory evaluation, which has got 3 units. Unit 1 has got definition, application of sensory quality attributes and the sensory lab equipment. Then we have procedure for sensory evaluation, the sample preparation, method of testing, selection of and training of testers and panelists. Then judging of milk and milk product. Then the fourth block is regarding packaging material and other common ingredients, packaging material and specification, testing of packaging material, standard for common ingredient and testing of common ingredients. And there are practicals regarding the quality assurance.
Thank you very much for joining this orientation session on the Diploma in Dairy Technology. Thank you.